Peace and blessings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Vasi, and today I want to do something a little bit different for my video. The first thing that I want to do is spend about 7 or 8 minutes encouraging my fellow artists, especially those of you who are writers. After reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl earlier this week, I just feel a new energy where art is concerned, because this man talks about how he was able to look at himself objectively, to look at his own mind, to observe himself and his fellow captives, and how he spent some of the time that he was in these camps. He was in 4 different locations over a period of about 3 years, rewriting the manuscript that was taken from him and destroyed the first day inside of a concentration camp, and how he essentially took some time to rewrite it, and how he would steal scraps of paper and write out notes too. And my thought is, if you can be in literal hell, it reminds me too of Northup, 12 Years a Slave. Like, if you could be in literal hell thinking about how you're going to turn this experience into your next manuscript, into your next story, into your memoirs, into, like, you could be thinking about, I'm going to be on stage, on camera, sharing this story in the very near future.
I will not fall into despair. I will offer up my talents to Master Ford. I will keep myself hardy till freedom is opportune.
I think that as a creator, as a creative, as an artist, sometimes you need that reminder that when you feel like everything sucks, you're in the pits, you're not having a good time of it at all, you need to be reminded that it's okay to do your art. In fact, it's advisable to do your art. That may be the very thing that pulls you out of it. I think of art in a lot of different ways, and I'm going to share it in this recording. I literally recorded this into my iPhone while I was driving down the I-10, so the sound is not that good. But I think that the message will be very useful for fellow artists. After that, I'm going to share Blind Boy music with you. I came across this artist, and it was a completely sublime experience. And I'm going to tell you all about that experience after we hear him play his song, The Painted Man. I want to, in the end of this video, so about 10 to 12 minutes in, I want to share with you my ideas about ways to intentionally tap into the sublime and to have more magical, sublime experiences and some of the things that I think you can do to kind of trigger those sorts of experiences. Although I don't think it's always possible to trigger those experiences, I think that sometimes it's very possible. And I think that ritual and doing your art are the doors to entering into that magical, sublime, Twilight Zone type of experience. Anyway, let's do some encouragement for the artist. If you don't want to hear shit I got to say, then just go to you see the man playing his music outside. If you are an artist and you also don't want to hear what I have to say, put me on 2x and listen anyways. Love you. Mean it. Let's get this recording going. One of the best things that an artist can do in life and in the world is to keep returning to their art, to keep approaching their art, to keep practicing their art, and to make engaging their art, doing their art, practicing their craft a ritual in their lives, to approach it as ritual, as religion, as a lifestyle, as a lifeline, as an anchor into the spirit world. One of the best things that artists do is to shift us out of misery for the sake of misery, to give meaning to misery, meaning to life, to give us stories, to really take ashes and to give us beauty, In return, it reminds me of the poem, which is a really disturbing poem if you know the history of the Ring Around the Rosie poem. But that you have an artist who's literally taken the ashes of bodies, ashes, ashes, ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. And this little ditty, this little rhyme, is about bodies raining down in the form of ashes, being cremated. And this is what art does. Art takes the gruesome reality and wraps it in color and a melody and lyrics and gives you a way to remember it, and to even remember it when you forget it, like to forget what it actually is. You have something like Ring Around the Rosie, and you are told the first time that this children's game is much more than a game. You get the history and the meaning behind it. That is what art does. That is what art does. You look at all of these stories about the savior, the son who comes and he saves the whole world. This is old astrology. The story hides a meaning. And it's like when you're older and you finally get that deeper layer and you get that meaning and you get the moral of the story and you're told maybe for the first time in your life what it actually means. It opens up new dimensions. It's like you know the story. You know the story like the back of your hand. And now that I tell you what it's actually about, like what the actual meaning of it is, you already know the story. Now you have the key that unlocks the story, and now you have these memories in this world, this time that existed before your time that has opened up to you. That is what art does to you. That is what art does. Art preserves a former world. It can time capsule. It can create a time capsule of a former world. It can preserve your current world for posterity. And art can also imagine a future potential. Art is incredible. So for people who are like, oh, I'm too scared to do my art. I'm too scared to do my art. Girl, don't piss me off. Like, don't make me mad. Don't make me angry. Because you as an artist, the reason that you feel terrible is not actually because you're afraid to do your art. The reason you feel terrible is because you're not doing your art. Like, you got to push through and do it anyways, or you will continue to feel awful. When you are a writer, you must write, even if you're scared, even if it sucks, even if no one reads it, even if everyone hates it. When you are a writer, you must write. When you are a singer, you must. You must. And if you don't, suffering ensues. In the moment that you allow your art to become your ritual and you do it and you come back to it again and again, right? Ritual is just the repeated actions. It's the things we keep doing. And you are what you repeatedly do. So even if you're a terrible writer, baby, you're still a writer. Okay? And honestly, the practice, there's so much that is learned in the practice. So even if you start off not that good, you appreciate and love and value the art itself so much that you are creating your art, you are enjoying other people who make this kind of art, and you will become better. It is by engaging with your craft, practicing your craft, that you become continually sharpened. You improve. And that only happens through practice. And there are some things that you will only learn through practice. So when you're an artist, you must create. You must. And if you don't, you feel terrible. And I think that might be the thing behind a lot of people's, depression. They will say, oh, it's the scrolling. It's the doom scrolling. It's too much. It's too much. internet. And I think that is partially true, but what they're not actually saying is that it's too much consuming and not enough producing and creating and playing, and it's not enough of you making things. You are a maker. You're not just here to look at what other people have made. As an artist, you are also here to make, right? And if that's true, then just taking in other people's work will never be enough for you. Eventually you're gonna have to make something as well. That's important to keep in mind. That's important to consider.
Oh man, I'm trying. What song going for? Always fun.
You from Tennessee? Oh,
I'm not from Tennessee.
where you from?
Originally on Baltimore, Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it was, and I'm glad to not be there at all. I lived here for off and on for like 10 years. So.
This is a great place.
Yeah, it's nowhere's perfect, but it's just one of those ones where I'm like, oh, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Do it with that, this town. I get to work, I get to leave, I get to come back.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can do something with my ears.
You're fine. Thank you.
Were those the only ones you heard so far?
Yes. I heard Late Bloomer, My Still Mine, and then something else came up. Let me see. The Painted Man.
Ah, yes.
Those are the only ones I heard so far.
Send me down the line all by myself, just like you do. Tie your foot in time, so I might find some faith in you. You and your painted man. You and your painted man. Sweet, sweet cracks on that floor, you pitch yourself. Send me somewhere high, somewhere far on your
Oh
shelf.
my God.
So I can see your painted man. I can see your painted man. Hang me on a wall by myself, I'm out to dry. Paint my beautiful, bring a tear straight to my eye. So I can be your painted man. So I can be your painted man.
Oh my God. That one puts you in a trance. That one's really good. Hey y'all, you look so beautiful too.
Oh, I love your hair, both of you. Wow.
Peace and blessings. So this is a continuation of the recording that I started yesterday after coming home from listening to Blind Boy Music Murphy in the French Quarter. I stayed down there listening to him for a nearly 2-hour set, and even when I left, he was still going, and he was just the light of my night yesterday. And then I got up today, I finished all of the orders that came in, and I ran down a USPS worker, a United States Postal Service worker. Yes, I did. I ran them down in the neighborhood up in Metairie and gave them my mail so you can get your stuff early next week. There were a couple more orders that came in. I'll probably run a sale, and I definitely want to do some type of a better business or like a boss babe, boss up type of spell, because I really want to milk and take advantage of the rest of this Virgo season energy. I have not been caught up on orders all year. And I know it's because like early last week, actually last week I had my period, and then for days I was like having like seasonal allergies or something. I felt awful. And then I felt better, and I just stayed in the house and got the orders done. And it feels so good to be able to just chill. I still made it to Barnes & Noble to hang out with Emma. I'll show you that footage now. Oh, do you want to be on camera or no?
That's fine.
Okay, great. I am here with my girl, Emma.
Hi.
Oh, wait. I'm here with Emma.
Hey, we're just hanging out in the mythology section of Barnes & Noble, looking at books about fairies and mermaids and unicorns.
All the fun shit. It's a book full of recipes, like real recipes that she's used for decades. Check out Lori Cabot. I think she's had like 2-3 stores in Salem. I believe her most recent one closed. But yeah, she's the one who she works closely with like Christopher Penczak. So if you've read any of his books, they're closely associated. Anyways, so I'm going to get this one. And I like these even if they're out of date. Because they're filled with like so many different recipes and spells, folklore, various information about like trees and plants and things that you can still use and copy into your book of shadows. So anytime you find one that you're drawn to, even if it's out of date, even if it's from a year or two ago, you can still pick it up and use it. We're on YouTube.
Well, the one book I know I'm getting is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I love horror and I like her books. She definitely has a very feminist, like modern take on horror. And this book is about like not just a haunted house, but like a possession element to the house. So I'm very excited to read this. And then we were just looking through these like fairy handbook, the unicorn handbook. They have some like really beautiful art in here, little like craft ideas. Yeah, like I love this old school art. It's really cool.
I still posted up at my favorite library with my girl Gaby. I'll show you that. Not bad. Did you already interview them? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. 2 pages with spaces, double space. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Come on now. And yeah, so my week last week was amazing, but I prioritized just being here and just powering through and getting it done, and I didn't get a lot of sleep. So I've been really sleepy this week, but that's okay because it's the weekend. I went to Future Shock. If you go back through my Lo-Fi Fun series, you'll see the Live from the Video Store. That's Future Shock Video Store here in New Orleans. It's inside of Slow Down Nola, which is a incredible boutique artist shop. It's like part crystal shop, part thrift store, part video store, part boutique. It's incredible. And it's right there on Historic Magazine. After I finish editing this, I'm going to wind down and lay down. I'm going to wind down and I'm going to lay down. I might wind down with some wine and lay down and watch me a DVD. Yes. So before I do that, I wanted to keep my promise to you guys and share my ideas with you about tapping into the sublime. First, I need to explain what I mean by that, because what I mean by that, first of all, let me show you my little notebook. So I've been keeping this cute little notebook, right? And I'm talking about, I've been reading so much, watching movies, watching other people's YouTube channels, listening to podcasts. I have been allowing myself to be influenced by people that I respect, people whose minds I respect, people whose intelligence and lifestyles I respect. And baby, I got notes. I got a lot of things that I'm getting from that. Thinking about influences and thinking about different things that I want to share with y'all. So I had to go ahead and keep me a little notebook, because the ideas were coming in so fast. I just had to go ahead and get something that's separate from my normal journal. But I did start writing down some things I want to research, but some of the ways that I think we can tap into the sublime. Oh my goodness. So first, I need to explain what I mean by the sublime. Let me give you an example. So last night, I was driving home. I don't even know where I was coming from, child. I was driving home, and I could have turned this way and been headed towards my house. But something said, go the other way and go see if Sassy is open. And I'm engaging my intuition. Me and my intuition, we have conversations when that is appropriate. Unless it's something that is like, urgent. You can talk to your spirit. You can talk to your intuition. And I said, well, I think they're closed. And it said, go anyways. I said, okay. So I drive that way, and I love going down that way, down Esplanade. On one side is Frenchman, on the other side is Decatur. You got live music over here. You got people sitting in front the Envie little cafe with their pets, and it's open all day and all night. And it's just, I don't go down there at night. I really don't spend a lot of time in the French Quarter at all, just because of the energy of it. But I love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love when I can go that way. And when spirit is like, it's okay, it's safe, it's clear. It's down by the French market. Anyway, so I drive down there and I pull up in front of Sassy, and I see that the windows are dark. And I said, oh, it's okay, it is closed. And so I see that there is some signage on the window outside of Sassy. So I pressed the button to let my window down a little bit so I could see what it says. I got them tinted windows, so I had to let it down a little bit so I could read what it says. And it says that they have moved up the road. Now, they don't moved into the old Omen or Hex, one of them. I don't fuck with them people, but moved into one of them spots up the road. And that's a whole nother thing. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time. But anyway, so then I moved up the road. But because I've lowered my window, I can hear the sound of sweet, sweet music. And I'm already like, I'm reading it and I'm going, and it's taking me a minute to like catch up. Like, where are these gorgeous sounds coming from? And then I see him, that beautiful man with his like Ringo. I think it's Ringo. Is it Ringo from the Beatles? No, it's not. It's not Ringo. It's not Ringo, child. It's the main one. I don't know his name. The main Beatle, the one who was married to Yoko Ono. He got his little circle. He got his little circle spectacles on. They're like tinted red. His little rose-colored glasses and a big-ass afro. And he playing the most beautiful music. And when I say earlier that day, I was on Tidal looking up black country music, and I was like driving, I was, running errands and things, so I didn't find anything. I was like out and about, so I didn't find anything. I just let it go. But to be like hearing his beautiful, like bluesy, bluegrass, country kind of music was just like, ooh, I had to spin the block. I came around, parked right in front of him, got out the car, gave him some money, and I recorded him with my camera a little bit. Now I don't hang out in the French Quarter late night. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel appropriate. So I stayed there for a while. I left and I came back home. As I came back home, I started listening to his music. Okay. Little Black Seeds. Am I Still Mine? Late Bloomer. Baby, I started to cry.
Thank you. Listen. Oh, don't you know the story stays the same? 'Cause I hear your name in my dreams. Good to see you, man. Don't you know nothing ever as it seems? I got a heart of gray, a sky of blue. Somewhere in my yesterday, I've been missing you. This is the moon, this is the night sky, covered in stars. Like the highway, made so sparse, with no car. What am I to do? When I'm missing you, yes. Yes, and your heart ain't made of stone. You said you never did good alone, did you, darling? I stay up all night till the morning light, praying I hear you calling. What am I to do when the sky is gray, my heart is blue? I've been missing you. I've been missing you, yes. Like the ducks miss the lake water when it snows. Don't you know that's how my story goes? Oh, I've been missing
I started to cry tears. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I said, I got to go back. So I got this camera that I'm recording on right now, and I drove down to the French Quarter, and I sat there with him for about 2 hours, just listening. And when I say I was trancing out, I had to keep coming to and, watching my neck. Okay? I had to watch my neck. Okay? So you gotta keep the head on a swivel. You got to be alert. Okay, so I was, making sure I'm aware of my surroundings and things, but really just like, oh my God, like trancing the F out. Okay, listening to this man. And Afterwards, I asked him if I could take him out to the bayou and film him in nature, so we could have perfect silence. Maybe get some cicadas in the back, um, maybe get some boars and some sparrows and things. Not sparrows, crows. But not all of this like people bumping their music and people walking past the camera and all this noise and all this distraction. I want to just hear his music. I want to record him. And he was on season 19 of American Idol, so you may know who I'm talking about. Like, you may already know Blind Boy music, but this is the first time I was encountering him. And I'm listening to his recorded music. And one thing about it, I love when artists have an online presence and they're already doing that work and they're already posting their work online and you can go and find the music. I cannot stand when I hear a genius MFer and I can't find their music when I get home. It really does piss me off because a lot of this stuff you could post on there for free. Anyways, I was so happy to be able to find his stuff online, but I want to record him and I have a vision. If you go back and you look at my live from the Bayou video, where I'm just like on that walkway in green, that's where I want to film him. So he agreed. And as I was getting in my car, one of Taja Nicole's sisters went by, sister Vanessa with her little girl. And she was like, "What you doing down here?" She's like, "I'd never come down here. It's crazy that I see you." We were right there in front of Fat Vegans. And we got to talking and her baby girl wanted the little plushie that was in my car. So I went ahead and I gave her plushie. And the mama was like, "Oh, you manifest so fast," to her little baby. And I was like, "Yeah, she can have it. Let me go get it." She was like, "Oh, I want." I'm like, "Okay. Hold on one second. Let me go get you your toy." Okay. I said, it's been living in my car for about 2 years, so you might want to throw it in the wash. Got some dust on it. But I was like, "Yeah, she can have it." And she took the teddy bear and she just laid her face on it and closed her eyes. It was so cute. And I talked to Vanessa and she was telling me about the bicycling club that you can be a part of, like less than $30. You can do a get up and ride, I believe is what it's called. And you can get on these bicycles that have like Christmas lights on them and just pedal around New Orleans with a gang of people. I was like, "Girl, please let me know when you go because I'm coming." And I believe the company is Black owned. So that's going to be a part of Lo-Fi Fun. Something else I want to do. Anyways, just that moment, the sublime is like when you've stumbled upon something that is so filled with meaning, something that is so awe-inspiring, something that is bigger than you, like where you can feel that you've tapped into or you're seeing or experiencing something bigger than you, something beyond you. Like it's the feeling you feel when you come into contact with a 200 plus year old tree, an enormous live oak tree, or when you see the mountains as you're driving into Las Vegas for the first time and it feels like there is a presence, like they are alive. The sublime can be terrifying. It can be awe-inspiring. It can move you to tears. It can be super, like very poignant. It can give you like equal parts terror, grief, and joy. It is almost this energy that is beyond words. It is beyond, for sure, the mundane. It's beyond the normal. It is out of the norm, for sure. And sometimes you can experience these moments where there is such an odd synchronicity, where there is a undeniable and undeniable magic. And it feels like those moments have been tailor-made for you. It feels like God has orchestrated and specifically curated a moment for you. So that's what I'm saying when I say the sublime. Okay? And so I believe that there are ways that you can find yourself tapping into that more often. If you've ever seen the TV show The Magicians, where Quentin Coldwater receives a manuscript and like a first page or something flies off in the wind and it goes down in an alley and he's like chasing after it and it's nighttime where he is and he's chasing after it. And then he finally, goes through the alley, goes through a gate, and he looks up and he is in another part of the country. It is no longer nighttime, it is daytime. It's warm as hell. He has gone through a liminal space and crossed into a magically protected place. So these are my quick tips for how to have that crossover into a world of magic more often. Okay? These are my tips. So the first thing is ritual. The damn channel is called Rituals. So we gonna be talking about rituals. Right now, we've been talking about scripting, obviously talking about some things you could do Fridays, things you can do Thursdays, things you can do every autumn, like preparing your prosperity pumpkin. How to prepare a spiritual bath, I believe, is still here. Prayer is a ritual. We've been talking about rituals, and all summer I've been talking about ways to have fun, to be creative and playful without spending all your money. Okay? So ritual is just, for the, sake of this video, it's your repeated actions. It is your repeated behaviors. It is the touchstones in your life, the way that you come back to yourself, come back to your spirit, come back to your own thoughts, your own feelings. Is this the way you care for yourself? Is the way you prepare yourself maybe for the coming week, or prepare yourself for the work ahead, or whatever it is. So your personal rituals, your business. But I believe that by creating and practicing rituals, you can more often find yourself experiencing the sublime. When I was in college, my college best friend and I used to observe Sabbath. Now, at the time, she was very into studying the Kabbalah, and she was very interested in Tree of Life. And she asked me to observe Sabbath with her. So there were actually quite a lot of things that happened Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Things that she wouldn't do, like she would already have her home cleaned, she would already have bathed, she would already have run all her errands, put gas in the car, have prepared meals. She's not working at all. The only thing that she would do would be to spend time with me. She would eat some of the food she had already prepared. And she would study. She would study spiritual texts, specifically things written like by Yehuda Berg, and things about Jewish mysticism and about Kabbalah and Tree of Life and those magical systems. And because we both was a little witchy, we would do this thing when I came over where, first of all, both of us would do lavender baths, separate, obviously. And then we would meet up and she would burn sage, Nag Champa. We would cleanse ourselves, our aura, with Florida water. We would pray, and then we would share our study materials. And that was how she and I observed Sabbath together. So ritual is empowering and incredible, because while it is certainly a way for you to touch base with yourself and to come home to the self and to prepare yourself, ready yourself, strengthen yourself, fortify yourself, it's self-care, it's self-honor, it's a returning to the self for sure. Ritual can also be the path to connection, to creating community, and to providing community care. Because a lot of times ritual can be the thing that connects us and the thing that we do together. And I think that when you have those relationships where you are with the magical people, the magically inclined, the magical thinkers, the creatives, the artists, the wanderers, the people who are okay with being spontaneous, the ones that are in awe of life, the people who love God. Like when you're with them, magical things are bound to happen. You are bound to slip into the sublime more often. And so the next thing I would recommend here is romanticization. Romanticization. Okay, romanticize your life. What I mean by that, because this is a TikTok trend. I never heard about no romanticizing your life until TikTok, okay, or Instagram, whatever. What I mean by this and why I'm including it here is because before I knew this word romanticize, I just thought it was like creating an ambiance, setting the mood, setting the stage. There is an intentionality and a slowing down that happens when you romanticize your life. You set things, you're not just eating out of the carton. You're going to plate your food. You're going to light a candle. You're going to have a long stemmed rose there in the middle of the table. You're going to put on some music. You're going to pour your non-alcoholic sparkling beverage into your beautiful green glass vintage looking, goblet. You're not just throwing things together. Even if you don't have a lot of material resources, you are still taking your time, taking care with what you do have and enjoying it as deeply as you possibly can. And I like it because there's ritual in that as well. You have to take the time to prepare. You have to kind of take the time to set the mood and set the stage. You also, it's the same kind of energy as when we like clean our candles, baptize our candles, clip the wick, dress them, pray over them, write the petition. One could argue that all of that is a part of the spell. I would argue that that is a larger ritual, that these specific physical steps that we're taking that a lot of people don't see the need for. You go to Catholic churches, they're not dressing their candles. They light their candles, they say their prayer, they go. Okay? So all of this, much ado about lighting a candle and saying a prayer or asking God for something, what is all of that? And people will ask me, why are you wetting the candle? Does that not affect the way it burns? And my answer to that would be try and see. There are so many things you learn and practice. Some of the questions y'all ask me, you would know immediately. If you took the instruction that I've already given you and used it, you wouldn't have some of the questions y'all ask me because you would already know. just what I've already told you, what I've already shown you. If you tried it, you would already know the answer to these questions. Anyways, so it's all of the things that we do to prepare ourselves for the spell, which is honestly very quick. I light the candle, I say the prayer, or I do the thing, and I go on about my business, expect it to work because I'm the one who cast it. But it's like all of the things that you do to prepare you. You think you preparing a candle, you're preparing yourself. You're getting yourself attuned. You're getting yourself locked into this moment. You're bringing your full self, your emotional, mental, spiritual, magical senses all to bear in this and on this moment. So ritual, I think, is so much. I think so much of it is preparation and also gathering yourself and bringing yourself here. And when you are fully present, when you are whole, when you are with yourself, magic happens. So romanticizing your life. The next couple things, gratitude. I think that gratitude and perception are master keys to opening up doors and stepping into a more magical experience. Gratitude is just freaking fly as hell, okay? And perception is how you are seeing life, how you are looking at life. Some people look at a black cat and they think, oh no, bad juju. And some people look at Black Cat and think of the goddess Bass. They think of, I think Catwoman, goddess Bass, Black Panther, luck. I think of lucky number 13. I think of witches familiar. I think of Salem from Sabrina. I think of a lot of positive, uplifting, sweet things that I love. I love Catwoman. If you've ever gotten a reading from me and Bast came out of the deck for you, you already know I love Catwoman.
Catwomen are not contained by the rules of society. You follow your own desires. This is both a blessing and a curse. You will often be alone and misunderstood, but you will experience a freedom other women will never know. You are a cat woman. Every sight, every smell, every sound incredibly heightened. Fierce independence, total confidence in human reflexes.
Okay. So gratitude, because gratitude is what hones your perception. A person can be sitting, like, I hate to use this example, but I dated a drug dealer in college, and I'm green, so I don't know what's going on. Until later, this man is explaining to me the deals that were going on right in front of my face that I don't see because I'm not one of y'all. I don't live like y'all. I don't understand the language. I don't have enough information to be able to see and to perceive and to understand, because perception, I think, has a lot to do with understanding meaning. I don't know what y'all doing. I didn't see it. Went over my head as it was supposed to. And if you want to be a person who sees the magic that is constantly happening in the world, one of the best ways to sharpen your perception and to inject your own mind with deep understanding, spiritual wisdom, and to awaken to deeper meaning is gratitude. Being grateful for things. Looking consciously, looking for things to be grateful for. Gratitude will help you see the miracles. A lot of people in the mundane world, they complain about everything. Nothing's ever good enough. They're upset about everything. Everything is a fight. That will control the way that you perceive the world. So if you want a more magical perception, trust me when I say gratitude is a master key. Okay. Another thing that you can do is to follow your inspirations and curiosities. So I heard the man playing music and my curiosity was piqued. So I spun the block. I left, listened to his music, and it touched me and moved me in such a way I had to come back. There is a spontaneity, like an art of spontaneity, to where something sparks and you catch it and you follow it, and you will find yourself in an enchanting and sublime experience. So if you're curious about something grabs your attention, something sparks, don't be afraid to be playful and spontaneous and to allow yourself to be led. And then the other thing is your own curiosities. If you're curious about something, the question keeps coming up in your mind, baby, look that up. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. There are so many things that you will come across, people you never heard of before, places in your own neighborhood you never knew was there. Like, I was talking to Vanessa, and I was talking to her about Lo-Fi Fun and some of the things that I had attended recently, like the NOMA. And there was a gorgeous I believe it was Nigerian installment there, and I thought it was just breathtaking. And she told me, well, if you like that artist did an exclusive art installment for the African American Museum in the Treme, the oldest black neighborhood in the United States of America. Okay? In America, the oldest black neighborhood. She said, make sure you go over there too. Do you understand what I'm saying? So your curiosities, you go, I saw the sign for it outside. I'm going to pursue this because I'm interested. I need to know what this African costume is. So I go and I see it, and I'm so curious and interested, and I love it so much that I had to bring it up to Sister Girl. And she told me, listen, now you can go over here. Do you think I'm not going to? You crazy. Follow your interests and your curiosities, okay? We're so blessed to have enough space and time in our lives to be able to research and look up anything for the pure pleasure of it. Like going back to gratitude and perception, that is huge abundance, especially at this time in history, in this day and age. That is an immense blessing. And especially to be able to connect with people who know history and people who know what's up and people who know what's going on in the community and who can give you that information, especially at a time where so many things are being erased. Okay? Next, I would say, look at God. This one is my favorite. It very much gives you the their eyes were watching God type of energy. The book, the film, tea cake, the music, the images, it just gives you something. What I mean when I say look at God, what you doing, Janie? I'm watching God. You know, it's two points in the movie. I remember her referencing this. Watching God is one when she was floating in the water looking at the sky, and another one when she saw a storm coming in, a very tragic storm. Okay, a tragic storm coming in. Watching God. What I mean when I say look at God is, and I mean this with my whole heart. Stop looking so much at other people. What they doing, what they saying, what they got going on, the man-made things. And look at God. Look at what God has made. Look at the trees, look at the sky, look at the sunset, sunrise, look at the moon, look at the stars. Did I say the mountains? Baby, look at the trees and the mountains. Look at the animals, look at the birds, look at the bumblebees that shouldn't be able to fly, but they do. Okay? Look at the plants, look at the herbs, look at the fruit. Look at what God made. Even look at your own body. Look at what God made. Look at what God made. Stop allowing yourself to be so distracted by what humans got going on. I love what humans make, you know, when they're not acting crazy. I love, you know, their art and the things, you know, that they build and they create, and that's cute. But I've never seen anything so impressive as a mountain or a tree or the sun. Okay? When you want to tap more into the sublime and the magical side of life, look at God. Look at what God made. The next thing I would say, create. Make something. Write, paint, even if it's terrible, make something. Just being in the act of playful creativity is very, very powerful for you. Very powerful for you. I would also recommend presence. So when I say presence, I have presence, connection, witness, listening. Be with people. Be with people. There is this man I met out in Cootery Forest. I was out there with that man who built Pink Library. Child, I was with that man. It's fine ass. Okay. And we met these two men. They were just out near the water where the alligators live, playing mandolin. And he invited me, and I still need to go. He said, we play together every week. He gave me his email. We play together every week, and we come together and we bring food, and we have a potluck, and we just play our mandolins. And you're welcome to join us. So that kind of thing, that's something I need to go join. But that kind of thing, being present, like I was present with Murphy last night in the French Quarter, just witnessing someone, watching them, listening to them, giving them your attention. Sublime. It's sublime for you and it's sublime for them. Because a huge part, especially for artists, but for humans, is the connection, is shared experience, is shared space, is shared ideas, thoughts, feelings, is the rapport that we build through our harmonies and our agreements and the way that we resonate with one another. Is you being there. Sometimes that's the most important thing in a relationship, is that you're there. You don't have to say the right thing. You don't have to know what to say at all, but that you're there. Presence. Presence. And then the last thing I would say, actually, second to last thing, art. Art, music, paintings, sculptures, anything, art, just movies, photography, videography, just engage with people's art. Ask questions or read the whatever literature that may accompany the art. Read the literature. Take time to think about it. Read the word. I'm reading Macbeth right now. And I have the play, and then I also have the No Fear Shakespeare of Macbeth, because I don't know what the hell they are saying. But when I read what they're saying, and then I read the Shakespearean English of what they're saying, it's just like, I think it's Elizabethan. But when I read the Shakespeare, like what he wrote, some people say that some of these lines were like spontaneous, and people that he was there with threw things out as well. So it was like co-authored a lot of times by some of his actors. That's what I've been told. But anyways, but you're reading Macbeth, you know? And I'm just like, what is it that I read? I heard V for Vendetta say it for the first time. The villainies of nature doth swarm upon him. Like, what? Like, I read it today in Macbeth, and I was like, that's Shakespeare? I didn't know V said this.
The multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him.
What the hell? Bugger off!
Anyway, so it's really like gruesome and like violent, but it's good. So I want to read the art, because I was thinking about the Weird Sisters today, and I was like, I'm thinking about the Weird Sisters, but I've never read Macbeth, you know, or what is it, the cursed Scottish play or whatever the fuck they say, I don't know. But I've never read it, so I need to read it. And it's like, I didn't want to read it because at first, I do want to read it, but I wasn't going to, because I'm like, it's too hard. I don't know what he's saying. It's, I don't get it. And something in my heart was just like, it's okay if you don't understand. Like, it's okay if you don't understand the art, like the first time you're reading it. That's actually fine. You're not expected to understand something, first of all, you've never read. You're not expected to understand this very old English in this very specific style. Like, you're not expected, but the truth is you'll probably never get it if you don't put your mind to the task. And your mind can handle it. Your mind can be stretched to new dimensions. It can understand new things. It can accept new programming, new language, new input, new pieces of art. And so I was like, I'm reading Macbeth. So I started reading it, and that shit is fly. So art. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is probably going to make, if you're still here, wow. Hey, girl. Let me know in the comments if you're still here. Drop I want to do something that's like only we would know. Drop a black heart emoji below if you're still here. This is my last thing, and then I'm going to sign off. If you want to tap more into the magical side of life, the magical world, and have more sublime experiences, don't rush the experience. It's probably going to make some of y'all want to throw the damn phone across the room. But that's my suggestion. Don't rush. Don't always be like you couldn't wait to get to this moment, and now you're like, can't wait to get to the next thing. No, you will miss it if you do that. You have to learn to settle yourself and to be here now, to be present. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.